Hello everyone, welcome to our online video tutorial series. In this video lecture, we will discuss about class 11 maths topic relation and functions. We will solve here some NCERT textbooks miscellaneous exercise problems. So let's start today's exercise. So first of all, the first sum is the relation f is defined by fx, and this is the relation where the function will be x square if x lies from 0 to 3 and it is 3x if x lies from 3 to 10. Similarly, our relation g is given like this, x square and 3x, but the values are changed. It is x square when x lies from 0 to 2 and 3x when it is from 2 to 10. Show that f is a function and g is not a function. See, if you remember, dear children, we discussed that when our relation will become a function. So if it satisfies the two conditions, first that for every element of x there must be an image, and second condition was that every image must be a unique one. Okay, that corresponding image must be a unique one. So let's check. First I am checking for the relation f. So case 1. So when x lies from 0 to 3, I divided the whole function, this function, into three parts. First, when x lies from 0 to 3, second from 3 to 10, and where is it switches at x is equal to 3. So three parts. Because less than 3, it will be x square, a uniquely behaviored function. For x is equal to 3 to 10, it is also a uniquely behaviored function 3x. But at x is equal to 3, it is changing the from x square to 3x, so we will check it at x is equal to 3 also. So first case, when x lies from 0 to 3, our function will become x square. Now, which have a unique image for all the values of x. As you know, x square is a upward parabola, so quadratic function, and 0 to 3, if you see, it will have a unique image. Its curve will be like this. So case 2, when x lies from 3 to 10, it's a 3x. So 3x, if I say x is equal to 3 to 10, if I see, it will be a straight line. So it's also uniquely determined image for all values of x. Now case 3, when x is equal to 3. So if x is equal to 3, if I take the function x square, then it will become, if I give the input 3 here, then it will become 3 square. The value will be equal to 9. But if I take the function fx is equal to 3x and I give the input 3, then again 3 into 3. So it will also 9. So at x is equal to 3 also we will get a unique image, that is 9. So for all the cases it is having unique image. Yes, this relation is a function. For the second part, let's see. Here g is defined. So my case 1 will become 0 to 2. Case 2 will become 2 to value of x lies up to 10. And case 3, I will take x is equal to 2. Because at 2, function is changing the behavior. So for 0 to 2, yes, it's a uniquely determined image. So no issue with this. Second part, if I take 2 to 10, 3x linear function, yes, it is also correct. Let's check it as x is equal to 2. So if I take it x is equal to 2 and take the first part, that means if I put the value here in x square, so it will become, if I give the input x is equal to 2, it will become 2 square, that is 4. And while if I give the input 2 in the second part, 3x, fx is equal to 3x, then it will become 2 into 2, that is 4. 3 into 2, that is 6. So this is not equal, so it's not a function. Because at x is equal to 3, we will have two images. One is 4, other is 6. And that is not possible. So an element cannot have two images in function. So it's not a function. Next sum is fx is given x square and we have to find the value of f 1.1 minus f1 divided by 1.1 minus 1. Let's solve it. So function is fx is equal to x square. So first I will give the input x as 1.1. So replace the x with 1.1, I'll get 1.1 square. Second, give x is equal to 1, so it will become 1 square. Replace this x with 1, it will become 1 square. And let's find out the value in whatever is required. So f1.1 is 1.1 whole square minus 1 square and this. And you know that this is a square minus b square. And a square minus b square will become a plus b, a minus b. Factorize this. So I factorize this, a minus b, a plus b, and this will be cancelled. Remaining will be 1.1 plus 1, yani ki that means 2.1. That's our answer. Next is we have to find the domain of the function. This, see, domain of a rational function, the condition is if a function is like this, a rational function, that denominator should not be equal to 0. That means this x square minus 8x plus 12 value should not be equal to 0. And to know that, a rational function will exist if its denominator is not equal to 0. So this should not be equal to 0. And let's factorize this. So I make the factor minus 6x minus 2x plus 12. So the factors will be x minus 6 and x minus 2. So they will not be equal to 0 if x is equal to 6 and x is equal to 2. So x cannot be equal to 6 and x cannot be equal to 2. So our domain will become all real number except we exclude these two numbers 2 and 6. So that is our answer. So domain will be all real number except 2 and 6. Find the domain and range of the function f defined by fx. And what is the function? Root of x minus 1. So function is this. So to get the domain, so we know that it is clear that root of x minus 1 is defined whenever the value inside the root is a either 0 or positive, or you can say that non-negative real number. So the value inside the root should be a non-negative real number. Non-negative real number means, see, we have the three types of real number, either 0 or positive or negative. If I say that non-negative real number means either 0 or positive. So the value of x minus 1 should be either 0 or positive. So if I simplify this, if I take x minus 1 is greater than equal to 0, x will be greater than equal to 1. So our domain will be all set of all real numbers greater than or equal to 1, which I can write like this, from 1 to infinity. So that is my domain. To find the range, as we know that the value of x is more than equal to 1. Okay, so x minus 1 will become, if x is more than equal to 1, and if I take it to the left hand side, or if I subtract 1 from both sides, what I will get? X minus 1 will be greater than equal to 0. And if I take the root both sides, then also it will be greater than equal to 0. And what is this? This is my y, or you can say that function will have the value greater than equal to 0. So the range will become a number which is greater than or equal to 0. Hence I can say it is from 0 to infinity. We have to find the domain and range of the real functions f defined by. So the given real function is this one, modulus function. So dear students, in the previous video I told you about the modulus functions. So actually it comprises of the two functions x minus 1 and minus of x minus 1. This will happen when x is greater than equal to 1, and this will happen when x is less than 1. Why? If I take the values more than 1 or equal to 1, it will be positive. If I take the values less than 1, it will be negative 1. So I put another negative sign so that our output will be positive. So now if you see, these are the two lines and they will exist everywhere, as you know that in the linear function. So our domain will be all real numbers. So above function it is clear that domain will be all real number. And for more clarity, let me just sketch its curve. So it will be comprises of these two lines. So this is one, and this line will be y is equal to x minus 1, and this line will be y is equal to minus of x minus 1. So if you can see that, all the values of x, there must a value of y correspondingly. So domain will be all real numbers, no issue, everywhere the function exists. But if we're talking about the range, so you can check that either it is 0 or the positive side of y-axis. It is not going towards the negative side. So its range will be non-negative real numbers. So the range of f is the set of all non-negative real numbers. So domain is real numbers and range is all non-negative real numbers, which you can write 0 to infinity. Our next function is, this is x square by 1 plus x square. So you can see it like this, fx is equal to, if simplified form, if I write down, this is the function. Okay. So from R to R. So domain is already given that it's all real number. Because denominator cannot be equal to 0. X square is always greater than equal to 0 and 1 plus x square will be always greater than equal to 1. So denominator can never be equal to 0. No other issue. So rational functions. So yes, domain will be all real number. We have to find the range of the function. So here x belongs to real numbers. So x square will be greater than or equal to 0. If a real number, then its square will be either 0 or greater than 0. Now I can say that if x square is greater than 0, then x square will be less than 1 plus x square. X square is always less than x square plus 1. 1 extra is there. So positive number plus 1. So that's why. So we can say that x square is more than equal to 0 but less than 1 plus x square. So let's divide by 1 plus x square. So it will give me 0 divided by 1 plus x square, 0. X square divided by 1 plus x square, and if I divide with 1 plus x square, it will become 1. So what is this? This is my function. So I can say that my function lies from 0 to 1. So this is my range. So range is from 0 to 1. So algebra of real functions. Algebra means how we will add, subtract or multiply the real functions. So addition of two real functions, function whose domain is x and codomain is real number. Here g is also function of the same type whose domain is x and codomain is real numbers. So where x is a set of real numbers, subset of real numbers, then we can define f plus g, where see the domain is common, x and x, this is common. So that's why from x to all real number is f plus g into x will be fx plus gx. Here one thing you have to notice here, the domain is equal, then only we will add like this. If domains are not equal, see the domain of f is x, two real numbers, okay, and domain, let's take it a different one, then f plus g will exist in the common portion of x plus y. X intersection y you are supposed to write down, so that you have to take care. So here it is same, so no issue, directly we can write down. So f plus g, domain will be x. Similarly, subtraction will be possible when this domain is equal, and simply we will subtract fx minus gx if domain is same. Multiplication by a scalar. So here a function from x to r be a real valued function and alpha be a scalar value. Here by the scalar we mean a real number. Then the product alpha into f is a function from x to r defined by alpha into f will become a function alpha into fx. So multiplication of two real functions, the same thing. Multiplication will be happen only when this domain is same. If domain is not same, then we will take their intersection. So it will become fx into gx for all x belongs to their domain. So this is called pointwise multiplication. Multiplication of two real function is also known as pointwise multiplication. And last is the quotient of two real functions. Let f and g are two real functions defined from x to real numbers. Okay, that while dividing two functions, what we have to take care that denominator should not be equal to 0. That we have to take care. The division will take place only when this denominator is not equal to 0. Let's solve a problem based on that. Here a function fx is given, x plus 1, gx is 2x minus 3, and we have to find f plus g, f minus g and f by g. So let's first find out f plus g. So here fx and gx are given. So therefore f plus g will be fx plus gx. So simply we will add them. x plus 1 plus 2x plus 3. So x plus 2x will become 3x and 1 minus 3 will be minus 2. So that's simple part. Now we have to subtract in the same way. F minus g means fx minus gx. So we will subtract them and what we will get? Minus x plus 4. And while multiplying them, so we can simply multiply them. So first I will write down the first function, second function, and pointwise if I multiply, so my answer will be 2x square minus x minus 3. Let's divide them. So f by g. So as we discussed earlier, that denominator should not be equal to 0. That means this 2x minus 3 should not be equal to 0, or you can say that 2x should not be equal to 3 or x should not be equal to 3 by 2. Then only this division can take place. So x should not be equal to 3 by 2. Here the function is given, be a function from integer to integer defined by ax plus b for some integers a and b. Determine a and b. So this is our given function. What does it mean? See, the function is ax plus b. It means when I take x is equal to 1, the value of function will be 1. If I take x is equal to 2, value of function will be 3. If I take x is equal to 0, value of function will be minus 1, so on. So first I am taking this first point, that 1 comma 1. That means in function, if I take x is equal to 1, the value of function will be 1. So let's put x is equal to 1. So it will become a, replace this x with 1, a into 1 plus b. And what is the image? It is given equal to 1. If you simplify, it will become a plus b is equal to 1. So this is my first equation. Second part, another point. So here I have taken this 0 comma minus 1. That means if I give the input x 0, then image will be minus 1. So let's put the input 0. So a, if I put the input 0 plus b is equal to minus 1, that means b is equal to minus 1. Okay, now put the value of b in this equation. So a plus b is equal to 1, we get a instead of b minus 1. So the value of a will be 2 and b will be minus 1. Let R be a relation from natural number to natural number defined by this one. So what is a relation? Let's understand it first. Relation is in between two numbers a and b, where a and b both are natural numbers and they will be in relation if a is equal to b square. That means the first part of that ordered pair is equal to square of the second one. For an example, 25, 5. So a is equal to b square. Got it? So a should be equal to square of the second part of that ordered pair. So is this true? Is a and a belongs to real number for all natural numbers? Let's check it. No, it's not true, because I can give an example. 2 and 2 are not in relation, because they will be in relation if 2 square is equal to 2, which is not true. 2 square is not equal to 2, so that's why it's not in the relation. So this first statement is a false one. Second, a and b belongs to relation implies that b and a also belongs to relation. So let's take another example. So this is also not true. Reason is 4 comma 2 belongs to relation, but 2 comma 4 does not belong to relation. 4 comma 2 belongs to relation. The reason is 4 is equal to 2 square. But if I interchange the position 2 comma 4, it will not belong to relation, because 2 is not equal to 4 square. So this is also not true. So this is also false statement. So second is also false. Third, a comma b belongs to relation, b comma c belongs to relation. It implies that a comma c belongs to relation. Let's check it. So here another example, 16 comma 4 belongs to relation, because 16 is equal to 4 square, and 4 comma 2 belongs to relation. 4 is equal to 2 square. So a to b belongs to relation, b to c belongs to relation. Does a to c belongs to relation? 16 comma 2 belongs to relation? No, because 16 is not equal to 2 square. So it's not satisfying the condition. So it's also a false statement. Our next sum, set A, having the elements 1, 2, 3 and 4. Set B, 1, 5, 9, 11, 15 and 16, whereas the function is 1, 5, 2, 9, 3, 1, 4, 5 and 2, 11. In the roster form it is written f is a relation from a to b or f is a function from a to b. Let's check. So simply I am drawing the arrow diagram to get a more clear understanding. So 1 is associated with 5, this one, 2 with 9, 3 with 1, 4 with 5 and 2 with 11. So is it a relation? Yes, this is a relation where some elements of A, set A, are related with B. So first condition is true. But when we'll say that it is a function, if it satisfies the two conditions that every x must have a unique image in y. So every x is having the image, but it is not unique. The reason is the value of f2. f2 is 9 as well as the value of f2 is 11. So this image is not unique, so it's not a function. So this is only relation. So every relation may not be a function, but every function is a relation. So f is a subset of Cartesian product between integers defined by function is ab comma a plus b. That means first element will be a into b and second element will be a plus b, where a and b both are integer. Is it a function? Let's check it. So let a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 6. Then what will be this ordered pair? A into b, first element, that is 1 into 6. So that is 1 into 6 is 6. And second element, how will get? A plus b. A plus b will become 1 plus 6, that is 7. So our pair will become 6 comma 7. Okay. So next is let a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 3. Then ab will become 6 and a plus b will become 5. So here the value is 6 comma 5. So it's sufficient to declare that it is not a function because image is 6, pre-image is 6, then it is having two images, that is 7 and 5. So image is not unique, hence it is not a function. Our next sum is set a is equal to 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13 and function is domain is set A and codomain is natural number. And what is a function? How it is defined? Function n is equal to the highest prime factor of n. So let's check that. So here a is equal to this. So function is the highest prime factor of n. Let's find out the prime factor of 9. So highest prime factor will be 3. So highest prime factor of 11 will be 11. Highest prime factor of 12 will be 3 because 12 prime factors are 2 and 3 only. So highest is 3 only. Highest prime factor of 13 is 13. So range will become, if I draw this arrow diagram, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13, and this side are all the natural numbers, but 9 will be associated with 3, 10 will be associated with 5, 11 will be associated with 11, 12 will be associated with 3 and 13 will be associated with 3. So my range will become 3, 5, 11 and 13. So here what is missing? F10. The highest prime factor of 10 is 5. So thank you very much for being with us. Hope you enjoyed this session.